Bluey. All right. So you know what we have to do first, and that is make some links here. I'm going to be lazy and use. Oh, I know. There we go. I just need this short form YouTube thing here to make it where it needs to be. Okay, now I got that. I can copy it. I'm gonna put this in corruption research at the RTC Discord. Um, delving into GB header hacking for corruptions. So take a look. Special. I'm gonna tag him because I'm a dick. Rick Lazar. Hopefully he's cool with that, but he's active on the channel, so so yeah. Hopefully he doesn't mind the ping, but hopefully he's cool with that. Anyways, of course my channel. Okay, starting now for everyone that's paying attention there, which would be like no. Although I guess there are some people, like 10 people online, along with Tom K and my friend Adrian. So, and I'm going to ping everyone because fuck you all, it's my server. All right, so, I might get 2 or 3 people on. It doesn't matter. You know, people can watch this later if they are so inclined and interested in doing. So I guess ROM corruptions. Why not? Fuck self promo. I guess. Some GB, not BG, GB hacking, GB hacking to some GB hacking to prep for corruptions and paste. I think that's everyone that would really give a shit about this. So let me go ahead and minimize this. Make sure that everything is nice and clear here, and I can just turn this on. Boom. All right, so we're not going to worry about this right now. We're going to look at the processor for the Game Boy because that's kind of what's relevant here. So this is we've gone over something like this before. It's the opcode table, but this time instead of the TurboGrafx 16, it's the Game Boy CPU and LR 35902, which is based off of the Zilog 80, the Z80. So basically, you know, each architecture is different. It kind of has its own features. The Z80 based CPUs have I don't know the best word for it, but they have opcodes that are essentially a hard-coded jump table. So the Z80 doesn't have the same thing that the 68K does, in which they have like an exception vectors, but they have what I would call programmable jump vectors. So and what we're going to look at are the ones that are here. So I'm going to just kind of highlight these. So the vectors that we're interested are these opcodes, and these are 1-byte opcodes. And what the opcode essentially does, very simple, is that it's jump to this location. So when you're corrupting, you know, you might don't mind the cat. She has decided whenever I'm doing any sort of work or whenever I'm streaming, she's like, I want to be the star of the show. So Mama Cat is co-host, to give it that way. She is co-host. So, I did not want that to happen. Go back to actual size. Thank you. Okay. So, what this means is it's an immediate jump to these locations at the very beginning header of the ROM. So, if you look at these addresses here, this means it jumped to 0, jumped to 10. You know, I could let me see if I can I'm terrible at drawing, so bear with me. But etc. So it's essentially jump to address 0, jump to address 10, 20, 30, and then over here it's 8. So it's jump to 0, 8, jump to 18, jump to 28, jump to 38. And what that essentially means is you're only really jumping to an address space that's only like 8 bytes long. So it doesn't really give you much room to do anything else. Usually, these I think they're kind of called like quick routines. I think that's what Z80 documentation kind of refers to them as. In layman's term, it's basically if you have a common routine that you can fit in 8 bytes or less, that's where you're going to put it, because it doesn't take 3 bytes to decode it. It just takes 1 byte. So and it only uses, I think the number. Cat needs to get out of the way. I think the number here is Cat, come here, come on. Okay, there you go, Cat. So the cat is always in my way. All right. So the one number that I circled there is the amount of cycles, and you'll notice that these can be called in just 1 cycle. So again, very quick. So that's why they have them. Actually, wait, hold up. That might be... Shit, I can't remember. That might be the... Actually, I take that back. That might be the length of the instruction, and 16 might actually be the amount of cycles. So it's supposed to be quick, but maybe not. Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, nope. 1 is size, operand size. 16 is number of cycles. But any sort of jump is going to take a lot of cycles. So what you have to do is you have to take a look at this header and kind of look at it from a disassembly standpoint and figure out, are these operations being used? So I have an emulator called eMalicious, and it has a very robust debugger. And I already got this loaded up. For those wondering, for those that are watching my stream, thank you. So I am going to be corrupting a bootleg Game Boy game, and it's going to be I think it's like Pokemon Diamond, I believe, and it is essentially a bootleg ROM hack of this Japanese-only Pokemon-like game, only they use like cell phones to call Pokemon, or their version of Pokemon rather, and it's very weird. And I'm going to say this right here now: it's probably one of the worst games that you could pick for a corruption video, mainly because of the fact that this game has like an intro that is like, I think it's like at least 2 minutes to get through. Like this intro is like ridiculously long, but I have patrons. Patrons wanted to choose it. I don't know who initially chose it, but it was a very dumb idea. But I'm going to try to corrupt this. So it might be a while before this video gets released, but I wanted to put this out here first so that you guys know how to kind of edit the ROM to your favor in terms of viable corruptions. So we're looking at the very beginning of the ROM, and if one of these instructions is not going to be used for anything, it's just going to be zeroed out, which luckily in the Z80 is no operation instead of break like 6502 based processors are, which kind of sucks. So there's that at least. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at execution point at 0, 8, 10, 8, 20, 28, so on and so forth. So if we look at label 0, I believe the emulator saw this as data first, and that could very well be it. But if we corrupt and execute, C7, then we're going to run into, it's going to start, whoops, I didn't want to actually minimize that. There we go. It's actually going to start executing here. And from the looks of it, it could very well start executing this information here. For most of the 80-based programs, they're going to usually put the reset vector here. So it's like jump to reset. So a lot of Game Boy games have like the start, select, A and B to reset the vector. This isn't doing that. This is doing something else. So this could be, instead of code, data that they decide to put here. Looking up this game, I have found that hitting reset, if you're trying to do the soft reset that the Game Boy games have, will crash the game. And I think this might be why they fucked up. They shouldn't have put data here. They should have actually put, jump to reset. I haven't really looked into it. I really don't care. Again, this is just kind of like an example, but since it looks like there is valid-ish code here, then I'm going to just leave it alone. But in case you were wondering, this pulls two values, 16-bit value from the stack, and stores it in the registers H and L. So it pulls a 16-bit value from the stack into those registers. Add A. I can't quite remember how add instructions work, but this might add A to itself, so it's essentially doubling it. I'm not too sure. I'd have to look it up. Here's something interesting. The next instruction tells it to actually use that quick jump to go to 28 for some reason, and we'll look at that later. And then that's it, basically. All this here, I'm not too sure what it does, but I guess I should have said also, not only does it jump, it's a call, it's a routine, so you can return from it. So it's not like a direct jump. I should have mentioned that. So it's like the 6502 equivalent of like JSR, but it's a quick JSR. So we'll look at that later. So it runs that routine, and then it does some loads from HL here. So that might be valid code because you popped something into HL, and now you're trying to load things into the accumulator and everything else. So maybe. So it looks like that there's stuff here. So we don't want to fuck with this. Let's go to 8. This actually is a return, but it's weird because it's a return from interrupt. These are not interrupt calls. These are standard calls. So the only thing that I can think of is it might be just a quick interrupt enable function. If you want to enable interrupts, you could do it very quickly with this method. It's the only thing I can think of, because that's the only difference between ret and ret-i. Ret-i re-enables interrupts. So I guess it has a use. Probably best not to fuck with it. Besides, if we hit this with corruption, all it's going to do is just turn interrupts on, and chances are that's fine. And like I said, it might have a legitimate use. So we looked at 0. We've looked at 8. Now we need to look at 10. 10 is a jump to 49E. That makes sense. Quick routine jump to 49E. So probably a very common subroutine. So can't really change that. What does 18 hold? 18 looks like it loads. I can't remember if this is backwards or not, but it either loads whatever's in C423 into A, or it loads A into C423. I'm not entirely too sure, but it does a load operation, and then as you can see, it does a fast call up to here. So obviously that's being used. So 18 we can't really mess with. 20. That's a different jump call to 476. That's fine. Again, completely valid call. So let's look at what 28 is. So 28, as you recall, is this like right here. But if you look, it's undefined. So what I'm wondering is, what exactly? So now you kind of have to wonder, what is 0 doing exactly? Why is it jumping to an undefined call? I don't know. But all 8 bytes are noped out, and we get to 30, which is like right here. And honestly, if I could add a label here and just label it 30, I would. I don't know how to do that, honestly, but all it does is it just runs through and then calls itself, and that's a problem because since these aren't like standard jumps, these are calls. All you're going to do is just keep pushing the program counter to the stack, and you're just eventually going to get a stack overflow. So if the reset routine is an RST0, which usually it is, all it's going to do is going to pop something from the stack, do an addition, and then go here, and it's just going to just infinitely keep trying to call 28 over and over and over again, and that's probably why it crashes. Again, I haven't really looked into it, but if it does do that for a reset function, that's why it crashes. So since 28 is undefined, what we may want to do is we may want to do a return. Because I think that's like undefined behavior. And you're probably wondering why not do a return for 0 as well. But the problem with that is I think the programmers use this for something else. So I can't really, so it's not a good idea to just change it. But I think it's safe to change 28. It'll probably cause a lot less crashes because all it's going to do is just keep calling itself over and over and over again. So what you would do, that's just adding a breakpoint, is you look here and ret, like right here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a conditional return. Z80 is weird. It has conditional returns for some stupid reason. Let me undo. You want this one? Okay, so, whoops. It'd be nice if I knew how to draw. Okay, I'm terrible with drawing with the mouse. I'm terrible drawing in general. I'm left-handed and I mouse right-handed because you learn that in school. And so not only am I bad at drawing, I'm not even drawing with my dominant hand, so it's even worse. So that is C9. So I wish I don't really have a notepad. Actually, I could just do this. So run notepad. There we go. So make a quick note. So 28. Set to, what was it? C9, I think. That's your return. Yeah, C9. So I think it's safe that 28 is set to C9. I think, maybe. So, man, no one in chat. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. Again, those that are interested can watch this later. So, okay. Let's keep going. So we have so we have 2 more. We have 30 and 38. So let's see what those do. So remember what I said. This just goes back to nope. So this will probably fix it because all it's going to do is going to load some things and then return. So this will just return immediately. So I'm not too sure what the hell they did here. I think they had some sort of debugging or something, and then they commented it out. It's the only thing I can think of. But they didn't add like a return here. They just like noped everything. So this will actually fix 30. So there you go. And then we have 38, which looks like they commented something out. That's fine, but you can kind of tell that they're doing some more loading, and then it's just going to return anyway. So I don't think we need to fuck with that because it looks like, again, it has a legitimate use. And then the rest of these are, of course, noped out. I can't remember what 40 is for, but that's also a jump to 2E7. There isn't anything here that I'm aware of. I'm going to just double check because I think it only goes from 0 to 38, and then once you hit 40, then that's something else in the header. So I think all we need to do is just load up one byte. Just change one byte, and that'll actually fix a couple of things, which is good. But just note that these things are going to depend on the game, and you kind of have to look and see what's used and what isn't. And I think 38 is the one that is very important to look at, because if that is undefined, all it's going to do is just going to keep trying to execute through the header, and that's something you don't want. Although I think I have to look at the documentation for Z80 headers again, but I think 40 might actually be special for, like, I think it's like for like interrupts or something like that. But I'd have to take a closer look. But this is just for the instructions and just essentially redefining them if they're undefined, basically. So in any case, do I have no, I don't. Let me turn this off. Actually, yeah, let me turn this off just really quick and load up a, because I don't know what's in my file system. So what we're gonna do, and one thing that's a good idea is, we'll use FR head. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so turn that back on. Click. Okay, so we're going to open up. Well, I guess it's gonna open up a file thing anyway, so whatever. There isn't anything that's weird in here, so GB corrupted ROMs. Pokemon Diamond. Okay, so we're going to edit rom.gbc. I have it hard coded to say rom.gbc. It just I'm lazy. I tend to hard code things sometimes. There's other things I need to change in the script, but this is what we're going to be using. So you can kind of see all the code here, but it was 28. You can kind of tell all that's noped out until you get to 30. So what you want to do, set it to C9. This could break something. Like I am not well versed enough in Z80 to know how bad it'll fuck things up. So it's usually best to kind of make this change and run through the game and see what happens. So we'll see what happens. But we're going to save this as, it's just a 1 byte change. ROM modified. GBC. And really quick, I'm going to play through like the beginning of this game just to show you just how stupid of a suggestion this is. So let's see here. Waiting for BizHawk to load up now. So I'm going to use BizHawk for this, and kind of want to use the same emulator, so open. I don't know why you guys picked this. It's so stupid. So seems to run well. say it's 2. It's around 2 right now here. Because fuck it. I'm not gonna fast forward or anything. I'm just gonna let this thing run. So you can suffer with me. Also, apparently the English translation is very poor, so you'll see a lot of English in this, but... someone should be timing this. This is what my patrons are subjecting me to. I'm gonna turn this down so I can hear myself a bit better. It's so bad. I looked up a playthrough of this just to get a better idea, and they didn't play through. They had like a little title card that says, you know, basically the gist is they do this, this, and this. It was so long that they didn't want to even include it in the video. That's how bad it is. So we had to play through this entire intro. We should make a rule not to do RPGs unless it's something that's like popular or something that people would want to see. No one wants to see this. Blah 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 blah. But so far, game's stable with the 1 byte change, so I think I'm pretty correct in my thoughts. Oh, lunch is ready, which I'll eat after I'm done with this. You're gonna have to put that there. So basically, intro's still going. What I may do, I don't know, but what I'm considering is making a save file, but it would be so cumbersome to do just to make the save file. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could work, but you can see that it's still, this shit's still going on. That hurt. And you know, I set this to you know 2 o'clock and it's now 14:02. It's still going. I mean, the cutscenes might be interesting, but this is going to be very painful too. I don't know. I still gotta think about it. Even the pauses are long. Just like, come on. But at least we know. I'll get this to like the first like battle, and then we'll call it a day. Blah 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 blah. So ridiculous. Dumb, very dumb. Choice for a ROM corruption, and it's still going. We're now at 14:04. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if those minutes are accurate, but I digress. At least with the original Pokemon, it wasn't that bad. You know, it was like a little intro, then you pick your Pokemon, then you fight your rival just once, and so you get to see all the features of the game mostly, you know, within the first couple minutes of playing. This is still going. Again, at least it's working. I got some, yeah. This uses cell phone based number systems. I'm not gonna write that shit down. Apparently this was a very popular bootleg. When I was looking it up, there were like a lot of comments from people like, "Oh, I remember having this game. I live in Russia and I had this game." You know, so very 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 popular in bootleg in developing countries, I guess. But again, bad suggestion for a ROM corruption, or at least the way that I do them. You know, I always do it from power on, you know, so it's still fucking going. I think I finally have control over, so that's how long it takes, like 5-6 minutes. I think if I walk around, eventually I'll get into a battle. Eventually. There it goes. Fight! Didn't call the main... Again, Terlingrish. Some points of 22 lost. Again, the English is kind of funny. I mean, I'll give it that. But aside from this, just I'm not looking forward to corrupting this at all. But got the experience of one. Got 16 ball. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but he's got some balls, I guess. Not even balls either, just ball. That's so you can tell, you know, that's poorly translated. They don't even pluralize their nouns correctly. But I tell you my phone number. Got the phone number of yeah, I don't have the patience to learn the cell phone mechanics of this game. But that's essentially a quick rundown of how to edit the Game Boy header to play nice with your ROM corruption. Use it if you want or don't. Doesn't matter to me. But I even think that people at in the RTC Discord can benefit from these things. Although they'll probably sanitize any bad, you know, results anyway. But for those that don't want to sanitize, this is good, I guess. But in any case, look forward to this video coming soon. But until then, I'll see you guys later.